The delivery industry is currently booming right now, and with that boom comes its fair share of people trying to game the system and operate throughout scams. But believe it or not, some of these scams have actually been around for quite some time, and we're going to talk about those in this video. A recent article covered a scam that happened to a Postmates driver, and this actually makes for a great topic to cover scams when it comes to the app delivery industry in general. For those of y'all that are curious about this article, we'll be sure to leave a link in the description below. But we're going to cover not just this scam, but 5 scams in total that you should be looking out for if you're driving for Uber Eats, Doordash, Grubhub, any of the delivery companies, and how you can deal with these scams so that you don't lose your hard-earned money. So let's get into it. Hello everyone, this is Elijah with the Rideshare Guy, and in this video we're going to be covering 5 scams that happen in the delivery industry and what you can do to avoid these scams and save yourself from being taken advantage of. So the first one is what the article talks about. It doesn't have an official name, but it's pretty much a scam where someone tries to get access to your earnings via your username and password. So I've seen this scam on Doordash too, not just Postmates, but you'll take a delivery and everything is going as normal as planned, and you'll get a call from some unknown number, and then that person on the phone will say that there's some fraudulent activity going on with your account, or they'll feed you some kind of rubbish, and then they'll ask you for your email and your password. You want to make sure you don't give them this information, because if you give them this information, that's everything they need to log into your driver account. And from there, they change the debit card on file to their debit card and cash out all your weekly earnings. The way I personally handle this is, if at any point someone calls me and they ask for my email and a password to my account, I just hang up and block the number. I mean, as emotionally satisfying as it would be to cuss them out or give them some dramatic speech on why they're doing this, I don't want to be seen as someone who threatens someone. So with that being the case, it's just best to hang up and block the number. That's how I personally handle it. But whatever you do, don't give them that information. The second scam that's been going around the delivery app industry is known as the picture scam. And this is more of a recent scam. So with the pandemic still going on, many customers have opted for contactless deliveries. And what that means is they have the option for the driver to leave the food at the door. How that works is you just drop the food off, you take a picture wherever you left it, wherever they asked you to leave it, and you complete the delivery that way. Now, this is kind of different for each app, because some delivery apps such as Doordash won't let you proceed unless you take that picture or take a picture of some sort. But there are some apps like Uber Eats that will actually let you skip taking a picture for whatever reason. But whatever app you're on, you want to make sure you do actually take that picture, because that's your personal insurance policy. If you don't take a picture, then the customer could complain to the app that they didn't receive their food, and that's something that can negatively impact your account. It could actually make it so that delivery didn't count, so they'll take the earnings back. It could lead to deactivation, and it could definitely impact your ratings. So be sure to take that picture, because in a way, that's your own personalized insurance policy. Next up, we have the address scam. So you may go to pick up a delivery, and once you pick up the food, the customer will get in contact with you and say, oh, I left my work address in. This is my home address, bring it here. Or they want you to bring it to another address. It could be an honest mistake, but a lot of times, a lot of these restaurants are actually out of range from their home, but they're within the range of their workplace, so they leave it in there on purpose, and then they want you to bring the food to their home address, which is like so far away. Now, that's a scam, because if it's not within delivery range, you're not supposed to be ordering that food. These apps have put boundaries in place to make sure that you can't order some from too far away, because that's just opening the whole can of worms of trouble, food getting cold, etc. So they technically are scamming the app itself, but why that matters to us drivers is these apps are not going to pay you for any additional mileage that you drive other than from point A to point B in terms of the addresses in the app. So let's say if the address they give you is like 3 miles further than the original address. Well, guess what? You're not going to get paid for that unless you do these steps. You want to make sure that you contact support first and see if the restaurant is even in delivery range. So always let the customer know. If they call you, tell them, send me the address in text form. Once they send it to you, then let them know I need to verify with app support if I can even do it. The reason I say text is because that's your digital footprint. Screenshot that and send it to support. So Uber Eats support, Grubhub support, Doordash support, etc. Once you do that, support is going to let you know if it's within range or not. But here's the important part. You don't have to take the delivery to the other address if you don't want to. You can decline. If you decline, the app will reimburse you your current, the distance from point A to the address in the app. They're going to give you that, or they're going to give you some kind of reimbursement if you refuse. But if you decide to go ahead and go through with it, you need to know exactly what you're going to get for doing it. These apps have different pay rates. Like with Uber Eats, you get an additional, I believe, $3 or $4. That might be vary depending on your market, but you get a little extra something for taking a delivery to a different address. On DoorDash, it's going to vary, and sometimes they won't give you anything at all. So you need to have support tell you what are you going to get out of this. And me personally, I screenshot whatever they say just in case they get out of pocket with me. I have proof that they said it. So basically, that's my proof to get my money. Next up, this is probably the most sophisticated scam on this list, but I see it more on DoorDash than anything. It's gotten better, but it still exists. But some customers will actually sign up to be dashers, even though they're not about to go deliver food. They just want access to the driver app. So they actually go to restaurants that are partnered with DoorDash and just show the restaurant staff that they're a driver with DoorDash. And then they'll say they're there to pick up an order, even though they're not. And they'll pick up an order and take it, and that's their way of scamming and getting free food. How does that impact us drivers? Well, you as a driver who is assigned to delivery, you come in saying, hey, I'm here to pick up the order for John, and then the restaurant says, oh, a driver already picked up that order. So what do you do? Now, if you don't handle this correctly, this could compromise your rating, and it could also maybe even lead to deactivation. Because in DoorDash's mind, you might have been the one to grab that order, cancel, and eat that food, which is against policy. So you need to ask the restaurant, okay, did you confirm the order number and the name? Most of the time they're going to say they didn't, especially if they're new. So you need to contact support and let them know that they gave the food to a different driver or someone picked up the food. What DoorDash is going to do is they're going to leave that mark on the account, and then the restaurant is going to have to remake the order. This protects you because obviously that order is going to take longer. So when you actually do drop it off to the correct customer, well, there's a chance they might rate you down because it took a while. But DoorDash made an update to their rating system so that if there's something outside your control which caused a long wait time, you're no longer going to get rated down for it. If they rate you 5 stars, great. If they rate you anything below 5 stars, that rating won't count towards your overall customer rating. If you want more details on that, you can check out the DoorDash rating update video I did a little while back explaining the changes in the DoorDash rating system. And the final scam isn't as much of a scam, but it's kind of something you want to do to protect yourself. But if you go to a restaurant and they're out of an item, you want to handle this accordingly to kind of protect your rating. So we obviously know there are 3 types of deliveries when it comes to delivering food on these apps. There's the place to order, pay, and pick up. Then there's the pay and pick up. Then there's just the pickup. So this only accounts for if we're talking about the pay and pickup type or the pickup. But assuming we're talking about one of those 2 orders, if the restaurant is out of something, they'll probably ask you to contact the customer and ask them what they want replaced and all that. Look, in the customer's eyes, we should just be the person who picks up the food. If you call them and start asking them, if anything goes wrong with that order from there on, they're going to blame you and your rating is going to take a hit. We don't want that. So I always tell the restaurant they have the ability to contact the customer and they can do it themselves. If they refuse, then I contact DoorDash support and let them contact the customer. Then if something goes wrong, they can blame DoorDash themselves, but when they're rating us driver, they're going to think, oh, it wasn't their fault. They just picked it up from point A to point B. I rarely have to do this at all now, but if at any point those 2 options aren't on the table, I always tell the restaurant, everything you told me as far as what's missing, write it on a note, sheet of paper, back of a receipt, whatever, put it inside the order, tie it up, and then we'll deliver it. That way, when they find out whatever's missing, they see the restaurant left a note, they take the blame, not us. Too many times drivers take the blame and take the hit for other people's incompetence or lack of inventory or whatever. Those days are over. You'll take the precautions you need to protect your rating and also protect the ability to get a decent tip from your customer. So those are 5 scams that you'll want to look out for if you're delivering for Uber Eats, for Doordash, for Postmates, for Grubhub, if you're doing any type of delivery. Keep an eye out for those scams, and if you end up encountering one, we've given you the tools you need to effectively deal with it so you don't lose money or your ratings are not compromised. That does it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. We publish new videos every single week, so don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and also hit that bell notification if you want to be notified when we drop another video. Also, don't forget to check out our delivery playlist if you want more info on how to succeed on these delivery apps. I'll catch you in the next one. Be safe and profitable, everyone.